We're down 87%, by the way.
Well, welcome back as, again, we are here at the Red Zone at Hicksville High School as we are getting ready for the second round of the quad wrestling meet going on here this evening. First up, it was Hicksville wrestling against Antwerp. And we are getting ready now for the second rotation, which is going to be Hicksville wrestling against Edgerton. Bill Murphy here with Hicksville Community Television. Glad to have you with us. I am pleased to announce that we do have a lineup here for these wrestling matches that are coming up. Again, we will begin with the varsity wrestlers. That'll be followed by if they have any JV, and then if they have any junior high. So, again, we are glad to have you with us. Again, we are covering Mat 2, which is where the Aces are going to be located for all three rotations. And Brian Williams is over on the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page with a live stream over there as he is covering the action on mat number 1 for this second rotation. Mat number 1 will feature wrestling between the Patrick Henry Patriots and the Antwerp Archers. For the Aces, first off at 120 pounds, in the first match it is going to be a forfeit with Hayden Herman will be the winner. And at 126 pounds, then we will wrestle at 126 pounds. So the first one will be a forfeit for Edgerton, I do believe. And, yep, there is no 120-pounder to wrestle for the Aces, so Hayden Herman will win this forfeit. So next up will be 126 pounds, and that'll feature Ethan Potter for the Aces, wrestling Jordan Holler for Edgerton. Again, for the varsity, it's 2 minutes per round. And round 1 starts with both wrestlers in the upright neutral grappling position. And here we go. Quick 2 points for Hicksville. Ace is driving, getting close to being out of bounds. Try to pull him back into the ring, keep him under control. Oh, and that's not good. That's a nice move by the Edgerton. That'll be a reversal, and that'll be 2 points for the Edgerton wrestler, as he's got the, and that'll be out of bounds, so they'll move back into the ring. So Potter with an early lead, 2-0, but then Holler with the reverse and the control to make it his advantage now 5-2. And as we get ready to get back, it'll be Potter down. Trying to get out of it, but trying to get the escape, but he's in a little trouble now. As again, Edgerton looking to roll him over, gets him on his back. And that'll be the pin. So at 126 pounds, Potter is pinned by Holer with 30 seconds to go in the first period. Up next, it'll be another forfeit at 132. That will go to Edgerton's Raymond Barton. The next weight class, 138, neither team has a wrestler, so it'll be a double forfeit there. At 145, it'll be a forfeit for Sean Murphy of Edgerton. So Murphy will come out, and he'll get points for the forfeit. At 152, it'll be a forfeit for Hicksville's Jack Figgins. Figgins will get the forfeit at 152. And next, George Green for the Aces will get the forfeit at 160 pounds. So again, we'll move through a lot of the varsity match very quickly. Next up, we'll jump up to 170 pounds, which will feature Roman Graber wrestling Jordan Warner. Graber and Warner at 170 pounds. Pulls him over almost onto his back. 120 left to go, and again, Edgerton in control here, leading right now 4-0. This is the 170-pound class. Working to pull him over, well in control. Got his leg right now. And a quick reversal. That'll be some points for the Bulldogs. Again, now up 6-1. .40 seconds left in the opening round. And again, looking for a takedown here, and that'll be 2 points for Edgerton. 8-1 now. 20 seconds. Nearing the end of the match. And 2 more points for the Bulldogs to make it 10-1. And that'll be the end of round 1 at the 170-pound weight class, with the Edgerton wrestler leading Hicksville 10-1. Two minutes on, and again with the flip of the disc, it'll be Edgerton down and the Aces up. So that'll be a point for the Aces. Again, this is the 170-pound match with Graber and Jordan Warner. Graber for Hicksville. And that's an illegal hold on Graber, so that'll be a point for the Edgerton wrestler, for Warner. 2 more points for Edgerton. 13-2 now. Minute 30 to go in round 2. Trying to work him down. Hicksville's Graber trying to roll Warner over. Trying to power him over, gets him on his back. He's going to have to watch out, Bo. Another reversal. Down to 30 seconds. So right now the score has Warner leading Graber, or Edgerton ahead of Hicksville, 15-6. 32 seconds left here in the second round of the 170-pound match. And some consultation going on at the scorer's table as the wrestlers wait out on the mat. I'm not sure if this is a scoring discrepancy that they're trying to address, or so evidently there is a scoring discrepancy that they are straightening out, and that's what's caused this pause in the action. So again, there were some penalties and evidently some points assigned to people based on penalty. So they're getting that sort of straightened out. So we may have some. It happens sometimes. Again, for this wrestling season, a lot of the earlier matches and meets were postponed because of the COVID situation. So especially for some of the students who do the scoring and the stats and so forth, they don't have a lot of experience like they normally would by this point in time in the wrestling season. So every now and then the officials need to do a little bit of a tutorial on the scoring and the penalties. Looks like we got it all set up, and now the revised score is Warner for Edgerton with 17 points and Graber for Hicksville with 6. 32 seconds left in the second round of this 170-pound wrestling match. And so that was a technical violation of a hold where you're grasping the hands, and that'll be a point for Hicksville, or point to Hicksville, so that'll make it 17-7 now. Warner's still in the lead for Edgerton. And that'll be it for round 2. So we finished the second of our three rounds here at 170 pounds. And again, it is Warner for Edgerton leading Graber from Hicksville 17-7. underway here again in the third period now. Roman Graber looking to make up a 10-point deficit here against Warner from Edgerton. Out of bounds, so we'll move him back into center mat. And this time Warner jumps out and quickly has Graber in some trouble. Almost, but Graber manages to get out and get back onto his knees. 21-7, the Edgerton wrestler in the lead here with 40 seconds left to go in the 170-pound match. They've wrapped up over on mat number 1, so our Facebook watchers are getting some bonus coverage from mat number 2 on their live stream. 13 seconds. Counting down now, under 10. And this one should go to Warner from Edgerton. And that'll be it. So it looks like it'll be Warner from Edgerton. Jordan Warner defeating Roman Graber 21-7. Next up will be 182 pounds. And that'll be Blake Flower for Edgerton against Carl I think it's Rubretz. Yeah. Oh, we're going to call him Carl. That's his first name. I can't, it's Carl Rupert. Okay, is that what I'm told? All right. So again, 182 pounds. Carl Rupert. 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 Okay. You can tell we're doing this live. Rupert in some trouble here. As again, Blake Flower pins him at 116. So that one will go to Edgerton. And we'll move on to the 195-pound class, where it'll be Hicksville's Nick Congleton wrestling Drew Osman from Edgerton. And we're going to just have okay, evidently that'll be a forfeit. So this should be 220 with Carson Marin against Justin Huffman. And that'll be followed by the 285-pound class. But again, this is 220. Marin against Huffman. Huffman for Edgerton, Marin for the Aces. The Edgerton wrestler taking control, 2-point takedown. Now he's got the Aces on their back. And a pin. That comes with a minute exactly to go in the first period. So it'll be Huffman pinning Marin at 220, or the 220-pound class. And that takes us to the 285-pound class, which will be Hicksville's Caleb Begley against Nathan Shepler for Edgerton, underway. And that'll be out of bounds and back to center circle. And that'll be out of bounds again. To step in quickly so that they don't go off the mats. And someone trying to make the first scoring move here. 1:04 left to go. Again, this is the 285-pound class. Begley for Hicksville against Shepler for Edgerton. And out of bounds once again. Down to 57 seconds here in our opening round. Looking to get a hold of the leg and hopefully try to roll him over. As that's the first 2 points scored for Edgerton, leading 2-0 here. 22 seconds to go. Rolling him over. And saved by the bell as again Begley was in some peril there, but fortunately time expired before he could be pinned. Still, it's another 3 points for Shepler, and he leads now 5-0 as we start round two. And evidently the clock did not start as it should have, so they're resetting. And that brief moment of grappling we saw will not count. So evidently the clock did not start on time. And they're going to reset things and tick off 3 seconds. So it'll be 1:57. And again, Hicksville in some trouble here. That'll be 3 more for the Bulldogs to make it 8-0. As again, Bagley trying to get himself free here and in some more trouble now as he's rolled over. Shepler working to get those shoulders down on Bagley, and he does. So Bagley gets pinned with 44 seconds remaining in round 2. So that one will go to Shepler for Edgerton. Next up, double forfeits for both 106 and 113 pounds on the junior varsity. So we'll jump right to junior high, where first up, it looks like Baron Graber for Hicksville wrestling against Jackson Flower from Edgerton. And this will be one of 2 junior high. The next will have Hutchinson and Gonzalez. So, but here, this I believe is Graber and Flower in the junior high. Well, perhaps this is the heavyweight. I don't know. We might have bounced things around. Maybe this is Bagley Shepler. I'm not sure. I'm just following down. I'm following down the roster and the list that we had. This looks to be another varsity match. So we'll see if we can figure it out for post-production. We'll see if we can figure it out for post-production. Give the proper credit for when credit is due. And again, some problem, and that's going to be a pin for Edgerton with 1:11 to go. Yeah. So now we're to junior high. And this should be Graber and Flower. If not Graber and Flower, the other junior high matchup I have is Hutchinson-Gonzalez. So, but I'm told that this is Graber, and Jackson Flower is wrestling for Edgerton. As we are getting near the end of this rotation, just a couple of JV matches, and we'll be wrapping things up and taking another break. So I'm guessing the match that we just saw must have been the heavyweight match between Bagley and Shepler. So perhaps before that we had Marin and Huffman. I don't know. Ace is in some trouble here. Flower in control and pins Graber with 47 seconds left in the first. So that looks to possibly be it. I'm not seeing any other wrestlers coming up into the ready position here, so we'll see whether that was the final match for this rotation, or if we have one more. We're seeing, but I don't see anybody else suiting up. So that may be it for the second rotation, again, between the Aces and Edgerton. And it looks like they're into the final matches over on the other side on mat number 1. They're at the junior high between the Patriots and the Archers. That'll wrap up, and then in all likelihood we will take another break, probably for another about 15 minutes or so. So We'll wrap up both our live streams on the Facebook page and here on the YouTube channel. And then we will come back for the final rotation, which on our mat number 2 will feature the Aces taking on Patrick Henry. Again, we want to take some time here to say a big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Once again, for the 2020-2021 school year, Jim Schmidt stepping up and lending their underwriting support to all of our Aces Sports broadcasts here on Hicksville Community Television across all of our platforms. We want to thank them so very much. Because of them, we were able to bring you coverage for football, volleyball. We've been doing basketball, and here we are doing wrestling. And they're the ones that help make it possible. Remember, anytime you see Aces Sports action on Hicksville Community Television, whether you're watching it on Mediacom Channel 12, here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel, on the Facebook page, live streaming there, they're the ones that make it possible. We want to thank them so very much for their continued support of our Aces Sports broadcast on Hicksville Community Television. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Looks like over on mat 1, they're in their third period here. And it looks like they have one more pair of junior high wrestlers to go after this. Again, we want to thank you for joining us on the live stream here on the YouTube channel. Tomorrow being Wednesday, we will have our usual update live streams, our Wednesday updates coming your way. We usually do that 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll fill you in on what's coming up for the remainder of the week. Look ahead to next week as well. Our coverage and our live streams coming up on HIX-TV. Again, let you know that, again, we are hoping to be able to bring you live stream coverage of junior high boys basketball on Thursday, and we'll definitely be here for boys JV and varsity basketball on Friday night. And then I think we might have some more junior varsity basketball early next week as well, as the boys, I think, are getting ready to, they're just about done with their junior high basketball season. So and then, believe it or not, yeah, all of a sudden, bada boom, it's going to be February, and we'll be getting ready to wrap up basketball season and head into basketball tournament near the middle end of the month. And then it'll be March. We won't know what to do with ourselves because nothing will be going on for a while.
Looks like the high school gym class has been having a lot of fun. It looks like they got like 3 volleyballs stuck on the high roof.
All right, looks like they taking a timeout over on mat number 1. 22 seconds left in the match going on over there, and I think, like I said, I think that they've got one more, or maybe 2. I don't know. They might have a lot of JV wrestlers over there. I see a couple of Patrick Henry junior high wrestlers suited up and one for Antwerp, so might have a forfeit and one more wrestling match. I don't know. We'll see. Keep Brian on his toes over there on the other live stream. Kind of a new innovation for us tonight, too, as we continue to work to improve our live stream capabilities and coverage. So tonight, we've got 2 separate live streams going on 2 different platforms. Try to cover as much as possible. And this one is going to go to overtime, tied at 10 after 3. Well, I think that's the first tie match that we've had tonight. So this will be a 1-minute tiebreaker. Unless there's another one after it. There's some points. Patriots take a 12 to 10 lead, in that match. Again, some bonus coverage for you as we wait for the second session here to wrap up. As we've got another timeout over there. So very glad to be able to be here tonight. Earlier in the year when the winter sports season got underway, there was a lot of question about basketball, but particularly about wrestling, again with the amount of close contact between athletes in this sport. There were several concerns, and in all honesty, a number of wrestling matches and meets were postponed early in the season because of those concerns. So a shortened wrestling season. But very glad that the grapplers were able to get back out onto the mats. And also really glad that, again, we are able to be here and that they were able to at least get this home meet in for the Aces. So, again, we haven't had a lot of wrestling coverage on HIX-TV, primarily because we haven't been able to do a lot of wrestling coverage. But now that we're here, it's kind of nice, especially with this big meet with the 4 schools involved. We can bring you lots of wrestling action here on this Tuesday night. And they're having some difficulty with the scoreboard as they have not been able to get it cleared.
It's supposed to be 12-10, not 9.
So they're going to just, I guess, keep score manually.
Look at the name. He got home in the guest list.
Yeah. So they're just going to have them wrestle. They're going to keep track manually, and they're just going to clear and reset the board in its entirety. So again, this is an overtime period. Again, there's nothing happening on the scoreboard, so hopefully somebody at the table has got a stopwatch going for the time.
No one has a stopwatch. I think the referee just realized it.
And so a technical, and that'll be a point for Green. And I would think that they only had about half a minute. So they're going to get things figured out as to how many seconds are got 11. Okay, because I figured it seemed like they were wrestling a long time. So okay. So we got 11 seconds. So a little bit of confusion here late in the second session. And we're going to go again because they're still tied. They each scored 2 points in the overtime. Trying to think of what's the most overtimes we've seen in a wrestling match that we've covered here on HIX-TV? There's an escape for 1 point. And that puts Patrick Henry in the lead, I think 5-2. So this should hopefully be able to wrap up this match. Two more points for the takedown. 25 seconds to go. And that should do it. And that would be Patrick Henry winning in 2 overtime periods.
At least we wouldn't go to what the record was. Otherwise, we'd be here for 25 overtimes was the record.
Oh, we're going to... Okay, maybe it wasn't an overtime. I don't know. I've lost. They're saying it's the third period now, so this was the second match, I guess. I don't know.
No, this is the 7th. So this is the third overtime. They started with 3, then they reset the scoreboard and put it back on 3.
Well, either way, this is either the third period of a separate. Like I said, we haven't really been paying close attention to what's going on mat 1. So if we're thoroughly confused, that's all right. Those watching Brian do the live stream know what's going on. We're on Facebook. We'll just enjoy the wrestling. And I'll stop talking so I don't put my foot in my mouth any more than maybe I already did. I don't know. So that'll go to Patrick Henry. So that one's done. All right. And here comes the next pair. A lot of junior high wrestlers for those schools. Again, there won't be a lot of. The Aces have got a nice advantage here. They wrapped up quickly, and so did Edgerton. So both those squads are getting some chance to rest and get themselves warmed up here. Patrick Henry and Antwerp are going to have to pretty much go straight into the next round. Again, there'll probably be about a 15-minute break between sessions. And again, coming up will be the third and final session for this match. And here on the mat that we've been primarily covering, mat number 2, it'll be the Aces taking on Patrick Henry. So that will be coming up here. Right now, we've got a little bonus coverage for you as they are wrapping up the second session match between Antwerp and Patrick Henry on mat number 1. And it looks like pretty sure that this will be the last match on mat number 1. Another technical violation. 9 seconds to go in round 2. And so we move to the third period, third round. And under half a minute to go on mat number one. And then we think is the final matchup between Patrick Henry and Antwerp. That'll do it. That will be Patrick Henry. We'll see if we're going to take any kind of a break, or they're bringing captains out. So until we get any kind of official announcement, we'll just keep these live streams going.
So now you're talking about snow. You just had this.
Okay. So it looks like we are going to proceed right into it. Again, this will be the third session now, so not much of a break between sessions here. Third session on mat one, which again Brian Williams is covering on our Facebook page, live streaming on Hicksville Community Television's Facebook page. It's going to be Antwerp against Edgerton, and here on mat two, which we have been covering, it will be the Aces and Patrick Henry. And because they didn't take a lot of time between, we haven't got any listings or whatever. So we'll, again, just sort of try to keep you up to date as best we can with what's going on. Again, it's Aces and Patrick Henry. We'll do the varsity first, then I don't think that there are any JVs. And then we'll do the junior high wrestlers to wrap things up. I'm guessing there was enough time. They have to have at least 15 minutes, I guess, between. And I guess they're saying there was enough time for the varsity while they were doing all of the wrestling between Patrick Henry and Edgerton on mat one, that Hicksville and the Patrick Henry varsity people had their 15 minutes. They could get ready and warm up and everything. So So that's why they were able to pretty much go seamlessly from one to the other. But again, session 3, and the Aces again grappling against Patrick Henry here in the red zone. In trouble. And it looks like we've got an injury of some sort. Patrick Henry wrestler had the Hicksville wrestler in some peril, and it looked like he was going to be able to put him in jeopardy of being pinned, but then all of a sudden the Patrick Henry wrestler just kind of pulled up and laid down, and the match was stopped at that point. There's evidently some sort of injury. So, yeah, we're not sure. He has his head guard off, and we're not sure whether that's something to do with the chest, the shoulder, the ribs, not sure, or the arm. Not sure what's going on. They'll just hope that he's okay. They're going to end the match, and that will go to the Aces. As a result of the injury, it'll be an injury forfeit. And we'll wait for the trainers to be able to get the wrestler off of the mat. So it looks like he might have had something with his forearm, perhaps. Let's hope he didn't break a bone or get something dislocated. I'm looking over. Brian's putting his coat on. He's over about 12 feet away, 14 feet away from us, doing the coverage of what's going on mat number 1, and evidently getting a little chilly. So again, we've got an injury timeout here, and so while they're working on the young man, I think they're getting him up here. Okay. So we could flip over and give you some bonus coverage from what's happening on mat number 1, but nothing really happening on mat number 1. But a good hand for the young man as they put his hand in a temporary splint. And again, we'll hope that it's nothing broken or dislocated, and so we'll have a forfeit here, and then we'll go to the next weight class. And we just had a forfeit for Patrick Henry. And we're going to have another forfeit for Patrick Henry at this weight class. Oh, nope, I take that back. They're going to wrestle. Okay. I thought I saw the referee ask the Hicksville coach if you have a wrestler this weight class, and I thought the coach shook his head no. Shows what I know. So underway. And got some blood, so an illegal move on green, which will be 1 point for red, which will put the Patriots wrestler up 2-0, and we'll bring over the blood kit and stop the flow so we can continue on. It looks like we've got some blood on his hand. or perhaps a bloody nose or a bloody lip and a little dribbling onto the hand, but got everything all cleaned up. But again, it's the Patriots wrestler leading the Hicksville wrestler 3-0. 1:31 to go in round one, this weight class. And that's an escape for the Hicksville wrestler. They'll make it 3-1. Now tied 3-3. So in a legal move on the Hicksville wrestler, we'll give a point to Patrick Henry. Make it 4-3. Patrick Henry. Looks like they might be all finished on mat number one. We're not sure. Oh, looks like they got a couple more. Okay. And we'll get the pin as Hicksville pins the Patrick Henry wrestler with 2 seconds left to go in round one. The Aces will pick up the win there. We'll get ready to move on to our next match, next weight class. And that'll be 160 pounds. And that'll be a forfeit going to the Aces. And then 170 pounds. Another forfeit for the Aces. And the next weight class will likewise be a forfeit for the Aces. So 3 easy wins for Hicksville right there. And now we're going to do some wrestling. Two minutes on the clock, and here we go. And we're stopping real fast. Technical foul. And that'll be 1 point for the Patrick Henry wrestler. As the Aces wrestler got a hold of and shifted around his headgear. At least that's what I think will happen. All right. Aces in control here, 2 points for a 2-1 lead for the Hicksville wrestler. And that'll be out of bounds. Again, nearing the edge of the mat, and again, we'll have a technical called. And that'll be another point for the Patriots wrestler. As it looks like they have wrapped up the action on mat number 1. So that means that Edgerton and Antwerp are done for the evening. And that just leaves the Patrick Henry and the Aces grapplers. And this match, again, 53 seconds left to go in the first round. And tied at 2. As we're ready to get back into action, here we go. And what we're going to have now, so that everybody knows, is while the varsity wrestlers are going to be finishing up on mat number 1, it looks like the Hicksville and Patrick Henry junior high wrestlers are going to be on mat 1. And again, we'll have the varsity here on mat 2. So if you do want to watch the junior high wrestling, again, you can leave us here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel and go to the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page. And you can watch the junior high matches live on the live stream on our Facebook page right now. So Brian Williams will take over coverage for the junior high while we wrap up varsity action here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. We wrap up the first round of this weight class with the Aces wrestler and the Patriots wrestler tied at 2 points each. So it worked out well that we had both things going on both Facebook and here on the YouTube channel. Aces wrestler leading now 4-2. Working to try to get him over. And it gets him on his back. Going for the pin here. The Patrick Henry wrestler trying to escape. Trying to work his way out of some trouble here. And the pin. Aces pin him. 34 seconds in the second period. So that'll be an Aces win. And we'll get ready to move up to the next weight class. I think we just have 2 more, this one and 1 more afterwards, I think. Oop. Again, we'll get ready here as we are underway. A quick takedown as the Aces wrestler goes up by 2. And another 2-point takedown. Hicksville right now. Hicksville wrestler leading 4-2. And he'll pick up a couple more here, I think. No, maybe not. It's the junior high match that they had on mat 1 has wrapped up. So we'll, again, focus back here on mat number 2. Aces wrestler leading 4-2, 47 seconds left to go here in the first round, and that'll be 2 more points for Hicksville on the takedown. Got him under control, and there's the pin with 20 seconds to go. So another pin for the Aces over Patrick Henry with 20 seconds in the first round. And we'll see what comes up next. Looks like we're going to have a forfeit. And I think that might be it. So that will wrap it up. And again, we'll finish up our coverage this evening. As again, we hope you have enjoyed the live streams. Whether you are with us all the time here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel, if you're bouncing back and forth between us and the Facebook page, we appreciate it. But that is, again, going to wrap it up. And we'll find this because I'm not sure who won the individual matches. We don't have those scores in front of us right now, but we'll get that tracked down and we'll pass that information along to you for when you watch the replays. We'll have all that for you. But again, our wrestling meet coverage wrapping up with Hicksville wrestling Patrick Henry, Edgerton, and Antwerp. Again, a big thank you to our wrestling broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com for helping make our coverage possible. Thanks to the Hicksville Athletic Department for giving us the space and permission to live stream the wrestling meet here this evening. Thanks to you for tuning by and joining us. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. And with that, we are going to wrap things up. And with that, for Chris Warner running the iPad camera, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you a good night and good sports.